Your story today is called Purple, Orange, Green, and Dan. Purple, Orange, Green, and Dan. I have to think about that. Before we start reading it, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happens when you mix colors. And I know some of you probably already know this, but we have three primary colors. We read about them last week when we read red, yellow, and blue. And if you mix the primary colors, two primary colors together, you get a whole different color. So if you would mix red and yellow together, you would get orange. Or if you would mix blue and red together, you would get purple. And in this picture, you can see if you mix blue and yellow together, you would get green. So this story is about what happens when you mix those primary colors. Another thing that I wanted to tell you that the characters in this story are Bess, Jan, and Dan. Oh, that's where Dan comes from in purple, orange, green, and Dan. And you are going to look for exactly what these characters say, because these things called quotation marks will tell you exactly what each character said. That's what these quotation marks are for, to show you those are the exact words of that character. So as we go along, I'll try to point those out. Now, the genre of today is definitely fantasy. That means that the animals in this story are going to be doing things they couldn't do in the real world, and things are going to happen that couldn't really happen in the real world. Now, when you are reading Purple, Orange, Green, and Dan, I want you to think about what happens when you mix colors, and we already talked about that a little bit. We are going to be using the comprehension strategies, making connections, which is going to help you understand what is happening in the story, because you're going to link it to your own experiences, and you're going to think about the details and the illustrations in the story and things that have happened to you in your own experiences that remind you of what's happening in the story. You'll also be doing predicting and confirming predictions. And so predicting and confirming, that will help you understand the story better, because by predicting, you're going to anticipate what might happen next. You're going to tell what you think might happen next. And then confirming, you have to pay very close attention to what's happening in the story to know whether your prediction is correct or not. So let's read Purple, Orange, Green, and Dan. Dan had cans of yellow. Now, already, I'm making connections between this story and the story we read last week about red, yellow, and blue, because Jan had cans of blue, Bess had cans of red. So all those same colors makes me think about that story that we read last week. We must make purple, said Bess. Mix blue and red, said Jan. That makes purple, said Dan. Now, here's what I was telling you about these quotation marks. We must make purple. That's what Bess said. Mix blue and red. That's what Jan said. That makes purple. Well, that's what Dan said. We must make orange, said Bess. Mix red and yellow, said Jan. That makes orange. All right, now here's a good place to maybe make a little prediction. We already know that they've mixed blue and red to make purple. We know that they've just mixed red and yellow to make orange. Do you have a prediction about what might happen next? I think I would predict that they're going to make green. I think that would be my prediction, just from what we've read so far. We must make green, said Bess. Mix blue and yellow, said Jan. That makes green, said Dan. So there's a part where I can confirm my prediction that absolutely they made green next, so that they made all the colors that are in the title. Wait, except for one, they didn't make Dan. If we mix purple with orange, said Bess. Add green, said Jan. What do we get? You get me, said Dan. Yes, said Bess. Yes, said Jan. Now, let's take a look at what just happened. They said if you mix purple and orange and add green, what do you get? Well, take a look at Dan's overalls. He's got purple and orange and green covering him. So Dan's not a color. Dan just has all of those colors on his clothes, right? All right, I will show you. I think there's only one vocabulary word. That's the word make.
Make, to cause to be. Mr. Hill will make violins. Make.
Okay, so make means to cause to be. They're going to make purple. They're going to cause purple to be by mixing blue and red. All right, so I will include your discussion starters. You can talk to your big person and explain to them about how you can mix colors and exactly what the title purple, orange, green, and Dan mean.